Hello and thanks for joining us. This is the Signature Show. I'm Vin Martin Obiora Ilo. Today I have a special guest, someone who's been very active in Nigerian politics. He was a former State Assembly member. At one time he was a distinguished senator of the Federal Republic, and then went on to become the National Secretary of the People's Democratic Party. Today he's wearing a different suit. He has decided to run for the governorship of Imo State. My pleasure to welcome Senator Sam Anyanwu to our program.
Thank you very much, Martin. First of all, point of correction, I was two-time local government chairman.
Oh, great.
Two-time state assembly member, a senator before the rest.
Well, you have decided to jump into the ring, and you have an ambition of becoming the governor of Imo State. Let me ask you a very direct question. What informed that decision?
Well, first of all, let me say this. This is not the first time I'm coming to run for the governor. In 2019, I ran for the governorship primary of my party, though I did not get that ticket. But then that has shown the time I started planning to be the governor of Imo State. I didn't just jump up to become the governor of Imo State. Like I said, I've been a two-time local government chairman, two-time member of assembly that represented the Kedru State constituency. And I have lived with the people. I know all the nooks and crannies of Imo State. I understand the pains Imo people are going through now, especially the younger generation. Imo is a government-driven economy. Our civil servants are suffering. Our farmers are suffering. Nothing is working. The insecurity in Imo State is nationally known. So I felt that it's an opportunity for me to come in and help the people and redeem the state back to what it used to be when people like Achukwu was a governor of Imo State, and people like Rochas was governor of Imo State, when people like Ohaki was governor of Imo State, when people like this Emeka Hediohaf, even though it was short-lived, was the governor for 7 months. What we have experienced today in Imo State, what we're experiencing today in Imo State in the last 3 years plus, is something nobody can continue to tolerate. That's why I've come.
In what specific ways? I mean, the big issue in Imo State today is safety of lives and property. You can also call it insecurity of lives and property. In what specific ways are you going to address this challenge if you become governor of Imo State?
First, you see, unfortunately, the insecurity in Imo State has been so politicized by the present administration. Because as long as you are not in tune with what he is doing, you are the cause of insecurity in Imo State. Instead of facing the reality of solving this problem, how did insecurity start in Imo State? If we have had 4 governors, and the insecurity there was never like that before, what is the basis? What is the cause of the problem? Because the government is playing lip service in securing the place, there's no reality in trying to secure the place. And in fact, we feel that this is induced by the government to create tension for political reasons. Let me say this. The mantra of my campaign team is to make Imo safe again. It's not politics. People die every day. Civilians, security agents have lost both the military, the police, civil defense, they have lost their own in Imo State. I've been a two-time local government chairman. As a local government chairman, I am the chief security officer of my local government. It is my responsibility to protect the lives and property of my people. And as a governor, the first cardinal point of a responsible or responsive government is to protect the lives and property of the people before the economy. Because if there is no security, of course the economy cannot strive. Now, if I become the governor of Imo State, I have 5 approaches to that. 1, I have to call what is called community-based guard initiatives, which within 100 days in office, that will create job for 10,000 youths for intelligence gathering, working with the police and other security agencies. This is done all over. That alone will create a lot of employment. I will also get intelligence gathering for the security agencies. Now you have pulled 10,000 people out of unemployment labor markets. They will be gainfully employed and they're working with security agencies because there's no way you can stop security without intelligence gathering. That is 1. 2, you use dialogue. You use dialogue. Try and find out the remote causes where these people are. Try to find dialogue and be able to give amnesty. Why did Yar'Adua did it in the Niger Delta? He proclaimed amnesty. People put down their arms. Today, some of those Niger Delta youths are trained in different fields, in engineering, underwater welding, and all that. 3, you need to work with the community. The traditional rulers are the chief custodian of the culture of their communities. They have president generals. You have the churches. There must be a consensus. Every community knows 1 or 2 bad people in their communities. Working with these youths that will be employed as civil guards under the community-based civil guard initiative. That way, you'll be able to reduce insecurity to the minimal level.
The present government has spent so much money, or says it has spent so much money. They said they have funded the security agencies, they've done a lot of intelligence gathering. What is going to be the difference? I mean, from what you have told me and what is on the ground?
I've already said that. It's not about buying vehicles and giving to security agencies. That is not beyond. It's beyond that. What mechanism are you using for the intelligence gathering? When you have a community-based guard initiative, what it means is that within 100 days, if you can be able to employ 10,000 youths in all the communities, we have about 637 communities in Imo State. And if you be able to employ 10,000 youths as community-based guard initiatives program, that way you have enough number to gather intelligence gathering for the security agencies.
You also said that the present governor is playing politics with insecurity in Imo State. And the governor says that the opposition is actually fueling insecurity in Imo State.
That is what I wanted. That's what I'm telling you. You see, security is a very serious issue that you don't need to play politics with. When he came on board, He first accused the former governor, Richard Okorocha, as the one causing the insecurity in Imo State. At a point when they look as if they want to reconcile, it was no longer Richard Okorocha. It was Ararume. At a point when they reconciled from the same party, it was no longer Ararume. It became Anyanwu, who at a point was kidnapped, arrested inside the church the day he was giving thanksgiving for the murder, and whisked away, handcuffed, showcased, which the video went viral, that it was sponsoring insecurity. Today, Anyanwu is working with them. Is no longer the one causing insecurity in Imo State. At the point, he said it's Igo Chichere, Ikenga Imo, which cost the life of his uncle. His house is destroyed, vehicles destroyed. That was no longer, Igo Chichere was no longer the problem of insecurity anymore. His Excellency Emeka Ihedioha was slapped charges of arson, terrorism, kidnapping and murder.
But it was the police that...
But who reported this to police? Who brought the position? Today, it was no longer Emeka Ihedioha. At the point, they said it was His Excellency Gerald Irona. Up to the extent, they arrested him, slammed charges and all that. At that point, today is no longer. Today is Senator Samuel Emeka Anyanwu, because I said I was going to make him more safe again. And because I'm ready for governor. They will say, oh, those who say that will make him more safe again is the one initiating insecurity in Imo State. That is why I said it should not be, the insecurity should not be played with politics. It's a serious issue. People are dying every day in Imo. Tell me, if there's Imo is secured, why did the tribunal that is almost in every state, why did the one in Imo relocated to Nasarawa? Why about the Federal Court not working in Imo? For how long? Was it the opposition? When a man like Gulak was killed in Imo, was it the opposition that did that? I think that we should be serious about it. You don't keep accusing people because they are an election against you.
Of course, insecurity is the big issue in Imo. But the other challenges in Imo, one you already started talking about, unemployment of youths, which to a great extent a lot of people say is fueling the insecurity across the country. People of Imo are still battling with bad roads. Civil servants are still complaining of not being well taken care of, and so many other issues. You have a one-point agenda. How are you going to bring in...
This is one-point agenda, 8 tenets. It's all-encompassing. But the basics is to secure the state. When you secure the state, the economy of the place will strive. I'll give an example. I was a local government chairman. Within my tenure, because I was democratically elected, and that is what I'm going to do. If I'm sworn in as the governor of Imo State, within 6 months, I will conduct a true democratically elected local government council. One is because we have 27 local governments in Imo State. If you have a democratically elected local government system, what it means is that you have 27 local government chairmen, you have 27 vice chairmen, you have 305 councillors, you have 5 supervised councillors in each of these local governments. You have SECLOG, Secretary to Local Government. You have lawyers who are into the administration of the local government. Then PA, you have every local government chairman is entitled to 10 SAs. 10 by 10,000 times 27. That will give you 270. Every vice chairman is entitled to have 5 SAs. If you multiply that, that will give you another 135. Now, I'm talking about, you have 554 development centers, multiplied by 5. If you put this together, that will give you about 1,501 direct employment in the local government system. And what it means, 1,501 families gainfully employed. I'm not talking about the indirect employment, which has to do with drivers, cooks, security men, and all that. And what is the multiplier effect? None of those people does not have average of 3 members in a family, or 4, as the case may be. So if you multiply over 6,000 people are out of the job. Meanwhile, the allocation that comes to this local government still comes every month. Where is the money going to? If you go to local governments, it's like a graveyard. Nothing is happening. That is one. That you can imagine when 5,000 people in all the local governments gets employed. You have reduced unemployment in Imo State. Plus the 10,000 youths that have engaged into the community-based guard initiative program. I'm not talking about 10,000 people that were employed, that they were fully getting their salary every month, they were discharged, which I intend to return back when I become the governor of Imo State.
You're going to bring back those that were
disengaged
by this government?
But the former government, probably not this government, they said this government refused to absorb them. But they were properly documented and employed by government. For me, if I become a governor, whatever this governor could not complete within his tenure, I'm not going to condemn that. I'll complete that and improve on it. Because it's the state money. This idea of having uncompleted projects because you are not the one that initiated it, I would not do that. When I was local government chairman, I made uncompleted projects and I completed them. So this is what we're going to do. We need to bring these young men and women out of the streets by making sure they're gainfully employed. Imo is an oil-producing state. We also enjoy the 13% derivation. Now look at the oil-producing communities in Imo State. Look at Ohaji. Look at Ebema. Look at Tuguta. That money is meant to service those areas because they are the hand that laying the golden egg.
When you watch television, you see the present government exhibiting projects that they have executed in the past 3.5 years. Are these projects not in Imo? Or are you saying that they don't exist?
What are the projects? Can you tell me the projects? The Olu Road, Federal Road, that was initiated by Rochas Okorocha before he left office. It's a federal road. The Owodokiwe Road, Federal Road. The Mbise Road, go and see for yourself. Which other project? Which other road project in the state? These are federal roads. What about state roads? What about the roads in the hinterlands? What about the roads within the municipality? Go and check. Give me a record. I want to say.
So, you have a problem with a governor intervening in a federal government road?
I don't have a problem. What I'm saying is that people do federal road and that money is being refunded back. If it's refunded back, use it for the roads, it's state roads. By right, it's the responsibility of the federal government. But if you think you have enough money to do that road because it's important, you do it and it will be refunded. It's the state money. You use it to do other projects for the state.
The refund is not automatic. It takes some time.
Well, have you made your search to find out whether it has been refunded or not?
No, I'm just saying that.
But I'm telling you.
Are you telling
of course,
that it's been refunded?
It has been refunded. By the way, even if it's not refunded, does it mean that it's only roads they're going to do, federal roads they're going to do in the Muslim as a government? The answer is no. What about those projects? What about public schools that are begging for renovation? What about the health centers? Since the local government doesn't have any money to do those projects because they don't receive the money, because there is no democratically elected local government system, which is the nearest government to the people. People don't have any reason to come to the state to look for contract from the state government. When I was a local government, I was given a contract. I tied the road. I built schools. I created jobs.
Okay, let's go to other areas of government intervention. What plans do you have for education in Imo?
Well, you see, first of all, I said to myself that Imo, Abia, and Anambra to the extent, in the southeast, Imo comes first when it comes to education. Because our people are not big traders, are not big business people. What our people does is that every family want to make sure they have or produce a graduate. Our teachers are not motivated. The public schools are dead. That's why people run to private schools. First, I will go to declare a state of emergency on education.
Why a state of emergency?
Because the schools are not operating, the students is going to zero. We need to encourage and motivate the teachers so that they can be able to sit. Most teachers today are traders because some of them don't receive salaries. Some teachers have not received salaries in the last 13 months. You've seen them come to television to complain, like civil servants. So we must make sure that the primary schools will be able to compete with private schools. Some of us went to public schools. I went to school, Naba was a public school. When I came to high school, I went to Central School, Abimo. It's a primary school. We are competing. How many private schools do you have then? I am sure you went through the public school, private school, which is the basics. So we must tackle that head on. Go to a place like River State. What Governor Wike did there. All the primary schools looks like a secondary school. That way parents were happy to send their children to school, to the public schools. And by the way, what does it take to renovate these schools to a standard befitting for our pupils? If you go to some of the primary schools, don't have school chairs. Some people are reading under the mango tree.
In Imo State?
Yes. Go and check. Rogers tried to do that. He came and built some of the schools. But because it's not there, most of the schools are not maintained anymore. Primary schools.
From what you're saying, it looks like you think that all the other governors before the present governor did good work for Imo.
Of course they did. I can't lie to you. When Achukwu Denwa, today the state secretariat where everybody is using today is built by Achukwu Denwa as a government. How much that comes to Imo State then? What about the roads? Some of the roads. Achikudawa built the Imo Teaching Hospital at all. Equipped.
Okay.
When he heard that I was paying, look at the pensioners. I think when he heard that I was governor, he paid 6 months. He stayed there for 7 months. And I have seen pensioners coming to tell me that they receive their pension for 6 months. And since then till now, they have not received any pension.
Okay. Let's you said that Imo is a civil servant economy. Do you have plans to change that situation? And do you have any plans also to increase the internally generated revenue of the state without what a lot of governments do, taxing the people?
That is what I'm saying. You see, I remember that as at the time, from the statistics available to me, as at the time we just left, Hidahan came in, the internal generated revenue of the state was way above 1.2 billion every month. But today it has not dived. It's about 600, 800. What is the reason? One, insecurity. Because nobody comes in. Imo State is a hospitality hub of the Southeast. Every weekend, it's difficult to have a hotel room in Imo State. People come in because it's the center of hospitality. And when there's an influx into the state, people go into the hotel people pay their taxes and everything, increases the revenue of the state. You have petty entrepreneurs, petty business people, traders. Money is exchanged hands. But today, because there's no security, nobody comes in. Most hotels don't have up to 34 customers. And with the trend of things, with the removal of subsidy, the increment in fuel and the diesel, they can't afford it. Some of them have folded up, closed down. Those people, those workers there, thrown back into the labor market. There's no foreign direct investment in Imo. Nobody's coming. Show me any construction site in Imo State today.
But is it not unfair to attribute this insecurity to the present government, as it's a challenge for actually the entire country, and then even a bigger challenge for states of the Southeast?
Yeah, but let me ask you this. The insecurity in Imo State today, can you compare it with Abia? If you remember, it's almost gone. Enugu is coming down. Why is it that I won't keep increasing? It's because when you keep accusing politicians is political opponents, opposition party, you lose focus. Security is supposed to be the responsibility of everyone. I expect that the present administration should be able to go beyond accusing political parties. So in the Southeast, I'll just give you an example. At Abia State, when they were doing the reign of Osisi Kanku and Evan Igwen, people relocated, but at that point, they tackle it. They faced it. And today, I've been telling you had instance of killing in Abia State.
Are you thinking about agriculture? What are your plans?
Very well.
Because today in Nigeria, food inflation and food scarcity is becoming a big challenge.
You see, this is the point. When I was talking about engaging the youth, creating employment, agriculture is one sector that can take a whole chunk of youth.
What do you intend to do there?
One, first of all, we have our farmers. In Imo State, you have a place like Ngobala, a In fact, Ngopala, there was supposed to be a free zone, but that was not completed. Owala, Acharubo, in Owerri North, there is no kind of integrated farming that you start there that will not feed the people. Imo has whatever Adapam. Adapam is one venture that could have taken over 100,000 people, direct and indirect employment. At the point, Adapam was competing with Risen Palm in Rivers State. But what is happening there today? It's a dead zone. Even the palm seedlings have overgrown. No new ones have been replanted. Now, for me, if you revive other palm, especially those from those oil producing states, communities, will be properly engaged, both in the auxiliary and marginal positions. It was not a palm that Malaysia people came and took their palm fruit to start their Malaysia palm today. So I think that area will be concentrated by my government to ensure that we revive Adak Palm by bringing the original company that established Adak Palm. Two, our farmers, we need to get them improved seedlings. Let me tell you, when I was local government chairman, I have 64 primary schools. And these schools have empty lands. Some of the teachers, headmasters use it for their personal farming. I invited all of them and brought out funds, procured hybrid palm seedlings and shared to all the primary schools. Each school should have over 200 palm seedlings to plant. And I got very hybrid cassava stem, which I shared.
As a local government?
As a local government chairman. As a local government, I'm talking about 22 years ago. That was my initiative. So that we can provide food for our people. And the idea is that when this palm seedlings, because it's hybrid, within 3 years, it will start germinating. You take it to milling. Everything about it, but the palm fruit is meant for broom and all that. Now, if you get palm seedlings, if you get improved seedlings and share to these farmers, or subsidize it, give them grants. I started as a poultry farmer. I have poultry as we speak today. Very big poultry farm in Imo State called Santadi Farms. Started far back in 1996. When I started first, I employed 50 people from 50 families in my locality. What means you are feeding 50 families. You can encourage these young men and women. Today, we have a mechanized kind of way of fishing, piggery, poultry. You procure this, get it to the youths. These are things that within a period of 6-7 months, they will start getting the profit from those products. Government can help them to do a buyback. Most youths today, some of even students today, they have small poultry farms in their respective homes to help them to train themselves in school. They'll sell and go to school and come back. So I believe that agriculture, world over, when you talk about food security, when we have arable lands, luckily for us in Imo State, we have very fertile lands. they can grow anything.
Imo State, like a lot of states in the southeast, and when you talk about people like Jimobodo, people like Sambakwe, they built a number of industries while they were governors, brought in a lot of businesses. But today, in almost all the states of the southeast, not just Imo State, none of those industries are really surviving.
You're very correct.
Is this something you'd like to address as governor?
Very, very well. Let me tell you this. Because I was part of Mbakwe administration as a very young man. I was secretary of Imo Youth Organization as 1983. My father was a politician. My father was the chairman of a local government at that time. My father and Mbakwe are very close. It was my father that attracted the aluminum extrusion industry at Inishi in the Kedro local government area. That industry today, government has less than 2% or less than 10% interest. Has been privatized. It's about the only industry that is still operating today in Imo State, the aluminum extrusion industry at Inishi. Mbakwe brought the glass industry at Aba. Mbakwe brought the paint industry at Bisen. Mbakwe developed Avutu farms. Mbakwe brought the shoe industry in a way. Mbakwe brought the ties, into ties at Imebano. Mbakwe even at a point brought in the power plant at Amarako in the Saramad local government. It's when the government is focused. And when foreign investors, when people are ready to come in and invest, when there is security and there's an enabling environment for them to invest, they will come in. Europe over, they're looking for other countries to invest. So it is possible. Sometimes people will tell you that the government has no business doing business. I disagree. If you establish that and have proper management, devoid of corruption, those industries, do you know how many Imolites that were employed? Some of them are business. Apart from the direct employment, what about the business content? The aluminum extrusion industry, people come from Lagos, Ibadan, different parts of the country to come for the products, the aluminum profiles from that industry, which was at the point was the best. Trailers were coming, drivers were coming. Creates the economy of the place, grows the economy of the place. It's managed by Indians now. So there's nothing wrong. They're creating under very serious supervision. These industries can come back. All you need to do is to get the modern set of arts equipment. Because the structures are there.
A number of people in Imo complain about a lot of division in Imo. I've heard people from Imo talk about Imo in the past, where everybody worked together for the good of the state. And a lot of people complain of being marginalized, discriminated against. Well, as governor,
yes,
how will you make every Imo son or daughter have a sense of belonging, have a buy-in into the Imo dream?
That is simple.
How simple is it?
By doing what is called citizen participation in governance.
Break it down for me.
Including youth. Yes, because you don't just, in those days, when the projects are to be cited or budgets, you invite the zone's communities to look at what they want. They will participate in the projects to be executed in their state. You just like what I try to do now. You do economic summit, bringing sons and daughters of Imo who have their businesses outside the state, even outside the country, giving them a sense of belonging, guaranteeing them their business will strive.
What kind of
How did we bring in people from Alaba International Market in Lagos to come and invest? Why is it Imo? Why is Innocent Motors doing very well in Nnewi? What about Risco? Are they not industrial? Are they not librarians? There's nothing wrong with doing that, because you have to give them a sense of belonging. You have to carry them along. You have to create motivation by building roads, those infrastructures that can make them. And again, when people participate in governance and have belief in that government, and the only way you can do that is by having a free and fair elections where people will freely elect their leader. When people elect, they believe in their leaders. That's the truth. Why am I mentioning Achikudemwa every day? Because I was in that government. Why am I mentioning Richard Sokorocha? I was part of that government. Why did I mention Richard Hakim? I was part of that government. Even as a local government, as a do not time of Hakim, as a member of House of Assembly, I traveled over 8 countries of the world on parliamentary exchange programs. Because knowledge is gathered from everywhere, not in one place. Today, what is happening? I don't know. Do you the same thing? When Achiko was a governor, he taxed every local government chairman. We went to Songhai farms in Cotonou, Republic of Benin. Today, some of the local government chairmen then had businesses in farming. That was how we brought Songhai farms in Imo State. Today, the place has been taken over, shared to build estates. Look at the younger generation. Look at the zoo, which is for tourism, for younger ones. The place is gone.
And then talking about tourism, Imo, like you have pointed out, is like a hospitality hub.
Yes.
What would you do in the area of tourism?
Let me tell you one. When I was in the House of Assembly, because I have not been able to give you all the successes I made when I was in both local government chairman, House of Assembly, and the Senate. Of course, the Senate, of course, you are aware how prevalent I was then. That was when I sponsored the Southeast Development Commission bill, which of course is initiated by me. Now, let me tell you, Imo is a tourism state. You know we have a confluence in Imo, but it's not developed up to today as we speak. Are you aware that Imo State was where oil, crude oil, was discovered first before Olobri, in 1946, before Olobri and others? When I was in the House of Assembly, I moved a motion which was supported by entire members of the State of Assembly to build a tourism association center at Iho, where oil was discovered, in Wodimeze. At least, I was even telling somebody, there are things that can become a tourism site. We have a palm tree that looks like a python. It was nature at Iho. We have the monkey colony around the Okigwe side. These are sites, but it's not developed. If I become a governor, I will develop those tourism. When you develop the tourism, it brings in tourists. They will come. That raises the revenue of the state. We don't have to continue to dwell on the federal allocation and local government allocation.
Would you summarize for me the kind of governor you're going to be? Because we're rounding off.
I'm going to be a governor that will govern the people from the state. I will live amongst the people.
How do you mean?
What I mean is that I'm going to live with my people. Because if you don't live very close to them...
Is there any governor that's not living with his people?
I'm talking about what I'm going to be.
Okay.
I'll be that governor that will live with my people, understand their problem, be part of that problem solving. Because if you're not close to the people, you will not understand the problem. 2, I will run a free government. And what do I mean by that? It does not matter the party you belong to. If I am going to conduct a local government election, it does not matter whether APC, APGA, Labour wins as local government chairman. It should not supposed to be winner takes all. You must do people, because allow the people to vote their leader. In the local, that way, the local government will be stable. That way, they'll stop communal clashes. 3, I will give honor and respect to the traditional institution. I cannot be too powerful than the traditional rulers, because I will go as a governor, they will remain as traditional rulers, because they are considered of the culture and tradition of the people. I will carry the youths of the state along with me. They will feel their governor. They will see their governor. They will feel their governor. I want to be that governor after my tenure. I can walk freely on the streets of Owerri, and people will come and hug me. That's what I want to be. I want to be a leader where security will be protected. And I've said before, I'm going to do 2 satellite government house, one in Olo, one in Okigwe.
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that? So every time governor leaves, you must not be at the state capital. You stay 3 months in Olu zone, 3 months in Olu zone. When you live there, people who are coming to see the governor, if they cannot see the governor 1 or 2 days, they will look for a hotel to stay. People will start building hotels. People will start living stay in those hotels. The economy of that place will start booming. The security apparatus will know that the governor is there. The traditional rulers will know that the governor is in their zone. The local government chairman will know that the governor is in their zone. The activities of that place.
That would be an innovation.
That's correct. That's my interest. I see my manifesto. That's what I want to do. And I will do it. What does this cost? To build a satellite government house. It don't need much. In the colonial days, we used to have it. When you have the what is will go this place, what is will go this place. So in the modern day, you do a satellite government house. I go to Okigwe. To do Okigwe Road, the internal roads, it's not more than 19.4 kilometers. I will encourage the engineers who are from Imo State. If a road contract is given to big contractors, you need indigenous engineers to monitor those roads, to ensure, because they are the ones that owns that road. That way we carry the Nigerian set of engineers of Imo indigenous along. And I've said, for the students in the university, as local government chairman, I gave bursary award to Imo Ikodu indigenes in the law school. I did it. It's a record. Go and verify. When computer was the intern, I trained, when families sell land to train their wards in computer, I trained 100 Ikedu sons and daughters, 100 in computer. Some of them today are working in the ICT company, banks, in the army. It's on record. Go and check. As a local government chairman, I employed 120 Ikedu sons and daughters who are getting fully employed up to today, over 22 years. Go and check the records. So I believe that we must have a government where people will be free, be happy, don't live in fears. I know it's going to take some time. It's going to take me like 6 months to give the orientation to the people of Imolites, because they have been so traumatized with the insecurity. People are not secured. That is why I'm sure you, Martin Elo, you find it difficult to walk in the streets of Owerri anyhow. That is what I need to secure the people. We made the people to believe again in government. Because people have lost confidence in the government and the governance. I'm coming to lead the people.
Well, your cardinal objective is to make Imo safer.
That's correct.
And we pray that if you get this opportunity, that you will live by your words.
Listen, on my honor, I will secure my people.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.